WNEP proudly presents the premier outdoor show in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, your window to the great outdoors. Tonight on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life.
We'll take you to the Schuylkill River as we go after some smallmouth bass. And we'll stalk Lake Jean and watch as the historical first trout is pulled from its water.
The trout are stuck. Pennsylvania Outdoor Life starts right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. I'm Ken Hunter, and I'm here with Don Jacobs.
Hello.
Jake, here we are well into the month of May.
Yep.
The turkeys are not necessarily cooperating, but we're hearing them, we're seeing them. Some people are getting turkeys. Yep. Trout season is in full swing. May is a terrific month for trout, but smallmouth bass, I used to think it had to be June years ago until you could catch a smallmouth or a largemouth.
Right.
That's not so, is it?
You could practice catch and release in a lot of the waterways right now. In fact, Blaine Mengel is the owner and the guide of Backwoods Guide Service. He tells us, you know what? We should try some time on the Schuylkill River in Berks and Montgomery County after some smallmouth bass. And that's exactly what we did.
We are in the Berks, Montgomery County area in Pottstown. I put it in Pottstown on the Schuylkill River. The smallest river that I do here. It's a beautiful little stream. It's urban in nature, but when you get up above Pottstown, you don't even realize, other than the highways running along the side of the river, you don't even realize you're in Pottstown. This is actually perfect for springtime. It's a little above normal on the water gauge. I use the Pottstown gauge on the United States Geologic Survey. We look at that on the internet, and I check my gauge readings, and that's actually perfect for running the river. There's no problems running. The water's got about 2 foot of visibility, which is perfect. I like a little stain to it. So we're looking real good. Weather's finally getting some warmth, which is nice. The smallmouth love that. You know, water temps will come up good, and we should have a nice day. Yeah, this is looking nice right here. Water level's at a good level for this. See if they moved in. I got one.
First fish of the day.
Little male.
How can you tell that?
Because he's skinny.
Skinny?
Skinny, and he's not that big. It's the only way you can tell. Because right now the females, they're either post-spawning or all, you know, they got those kind of sunken bellies.
Okay. Yeah.
And their tails are beat up pretty good, or they're bursting, they're ready to go. Backwoods Angler Guide Service. I specialize in smallmouth bass fishing trips in Pennsylvania, eastern and central PA. Fifth year operation, 4th year full time. I'm out on the river 175 days a year targeting smallmouth. We do recently wrote a book on Delaware River smallmouth fishing. I'm here in the Schuylkill as well, and I also do the Susquehanna.
Got it. Yeah, a little bit of weight on this one too, but they always feel like that, these smallies. Doing something wrong. That's three fish, 3 casts, and I didn't land one of them yet. This time
This would be constituted as a little stack of bass right here.
And no kidding. There you go. You got him?
That's a good one there.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's a good fish. Feels like a good one. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah. Well, that does have some meat to it.
Come here, baby. She's not happy to have a hook in her face either, is she?
Oh, that is a dandy smallmouth. Nice job.
That was on that magic stick.
Now, that is a female?
That's a female, yeah.
Post-spawn?
Probably spawning, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll get her back up there quick.
Yeah. Nice.
Go home, babe.
You do pretty well here?
It's a great little smallmouth river. And we'll get a muskie from time to time and a walleye, but it abounds with smallmouth. It's loaded with fish. It's a good one.
Ooh, yeah.
There's some pigs up there.
I love when that bubbles up. Look at that. That is a dandy fish.
That's a good fish there.
That is a dandy fish. Absolutely. Just get that out of the way there. That is
That's a good one.
beautiful smallmouth bass. Schuylkill River.
How about that?
Look at that.
That's
Nice.
post. She's post.
Nice job.
Look at that hook. Barely in her. I mean, I waited on that one too.
Look at that.
That's a nice fish.
That is a dandy fish.
That's a 19-inch fish. The fishing's different here because it's shallow. We won't see water deeper than 10 feet in this whole section, whereas on the Delaware, I'm fishing as deep as 55 feet, the bottom of the water gap. So yeah, the fishing's a little different here. We do a lot more fishing with just subsurface baits like fluke baits, salty shads, and Senko baits like magic stick, spinner baits. We also catch them on the regular standbys of smallmouth fishermen, tubes, and all crankbaits. Yeah, that one's a little better.
Boy, they just pound for pound, they are one of the best biting fish, aren't they?
They're,
Oh my God, I know
They're
why you
amazing.
want to make a livelihood
isn't
out
that
of it.
great?
Oh man. They're just a real aggressive hitting kind of fish. They really are.
That one's tough to tell with that one.
Pretty colors.
Yep.
Good and healthy looking anyhow.
Schuylkill River smallmouth.
Yeah. Nice and healthy looking. What makes the bass fishing so good?
I have a hunch that it's a couple different things. One thing is the forage is real plentiful. The Fish Commission stocked a whole bunch of shad. They're trying to get a shad run started again up the Schuylkill, and they've been loading it up with bait fish. And I also think that the Clean Water Act and a lot of the conservation efforts have really cleaned this place up.
Healthy looking too, boy. Come on, Papa.
Come here, baby.
There you go.
That's a good one.
Blaine, thank you. What a great day on the Schuylkill River. Thanks, buddy.
Nice fish. You're welcome.
Yep, what a great day.
Good day. Go home, babe.
And thank you, Blaine Mangle from the Backwoods Angler Guide Service. Ken, a lot of people think Schuylkill River, they think about what it was like years ago. So many conservation groups as far north as well into our viewing area, north of Pottsville, are cleaning up the Schuylkill River. And what a fishery. Incredible
Jake,
fishery.
I was one of those people. I thought there was no fish in that river years ago. Now there is. I mean, they've done a tremendous job. Those bass are great.
Yep, and that's hats off to those conservation groups.
When do I get to get down there?
Well, if you're nice to me, I'll ask Blaine if he could take you out next.
All right. Well, speaking of Blaine,
Right.
he wrote a terrific book here. The Delaware River Smallmouth Bass Fishing Handbook, a great little book. I had a chance to just sort of quickly run through this book. A lot of tips on how to fish the Delaware River, but I'm sure it's applicable elsewhere, and some great-looking lures. So let's pick a name and give it away.
Except for the water temperature, I would imagine, and clarity, smallmouth bass are smallmouth bass, aren't they?
I would think so. I mean, different techniques will work, but always something in a river that you can usually get them to hit on. So
Yeah.
let's see who the lucky winner is. That looks like Gary Rumberger.
Yep.
Rumberger from Shamokin, PA.
Congratulations, Gary. Now, if you're sitting at home and you're saying, how do I get in touch with Blaine Mangle? Here's the information that you need. It is the Backwoods Angler, and his name is Blaine Mangle at 610-868-9349, or he's on the internet at www.backwoodsangler.com. We'll show that to you a little bit later, too. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. You know, tons of trout are still being stocked. I may say thousands of trout are still being stocked. If you look at the Higbee Stream map here, you'll see all the blue. The blue represents all of the water in Pennsylvania, the little streams, the ponds, the lakes. And it's a big decision process as to whether or not you're going to stock trout in any given waterway. And there's some good news for a local lake.
Some places haven't ever been stocked, but now Lake Jean, which is located right about in this area, Lake Jean for the first time has been stocked with 1,200 trout. Let's take a look at this historic stocking.
My name is Jim Stout, Waterways Conservation Officer with the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission.
58 degrees, is that good, Jim?
That should be good. You try to have the temperatures close between the receiving water and the tank in the truck for the trout to have the best opportunities. If it's too much of a difference, then you're going to have to temper the tanks in the truck. The lake was lined last week on the 15th to bring the pH up. I talked to the biologist yesterday and the pH was fine. So we had the green light to bring the trout in today.
All right, here we are at the Ricketts Glen, and Terry Beltroff, park manager, and I are about to throw in the first bucket of trout ever in Ricketts Glen. Okay, let's give her a toss here, Terry.
Okay, hang on just a second.
1, 2, 3.
Good luck, guys.
There they are. The first ever trout in Lake Jean.
The fish today came from Benner Springs.
It doesn't look like you lose many fish doing this, so you've got it down to a real science.
Well, we stop and check them. We make sure, just like the earlier show that you fellas did now. We did. We stopped and checked the fish just to make sure everything was okay.
They look good and healthy.
That's the name of the game. That's the biggest fear I have. Anything happens to those fish. And nobody can appreciate that. The man hours, the effort, the work that went into raising them from eggs to that size. I mean, it's really a process.
Look up this way. There you go. Oh, great. Got it. Got it?
Well, I think it's exciting. It's a new opportunity for fishermen, and that's, to create a new resource. That's what it's all about. And I know the agency has been working with a park too in the past. We've been stocking cool water, warm water species in here too. So we're working together to bring back a fishery here at Lake Jean.
So it's
I
not
think
just
it's a great
the trout
thing.
here at Lake Jean, it's all the fish.
Right, it's a complete full fishery, right. Total 1,200, all brookies. Brookies tend to do the best in acidic water.
Will these fish spread out? How far will they spread?
They'll spread pretty much everywhere.
How long will it take for the fish to spread out, do you know?
Well, usually you can tell, but pretty soon you can start to see them. They'll be jumping out further. It depends on how fast they move out. But they move pretty quickly. You could probably catch some right now.
Really?
It depends. You never know. Sometimes they'll bite right away. Other times it'll be an hour. It's hard to tell.
Here you go. Second cast. Rookie. Release him. We got one right behind you. Very exciting.
This is a historical event. This is the first trout ever caught in Lake Jean, and you're the guy that caught it, sir.
Oh, wow, I'm very lucky.
What are you using?
I don't even know. Found it on a tree.
It's a spinner, a yellow spinner.
Yellow spinner. Could be a rooster tail.
This is the first trout ever caught in Lake Jean. That's a very historical event. Congratulations.
Thank you,
to
sir.
You, sir. Yes, that's all right. First one ever on a spinner, too. Way to go.
Geez.
What's your name? Where are you from?
Leaf Bellsburg, from Frackville, Pennsylvania, Valiant Street.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
First one ever in Lake Jean.
Oh, we've got a couple more.
You're going down in history.
Oh, I can't wait.
One of the things the Fish and Boat Commission likes to do is create new opportunities for people to have to fish. And putting these fish in here now, we're going to see how well it works, and hopefully it'll be a continuing process.
Hey, you got me.
Did I get you? I got him. I got Brian.
Let me unhook Brian. You know what, Mary Lou? We're throwing him back in. We're not keeping him. He isn't worth
He's
keeping.
not big enough.
He's a little hard to dress
Throw him
out.
back in. Well, that historic trout stocking event took place right here on Lake Jean for the first time ever. And I want to thank Terry for helping us out, Terry Daltrop, Park Manager, WCO Jim Stout. You know, this is another example, Jake, of where the Fish Commission is providing new and more opportunities for people to fish. And I stopped back there later that day, just about dark, and there was an older gentleman sitting there in a lawn chair, 76 years old, having a riot, catching trout after trout, and he looked over at me and he smiled and he said, you know, today's my 76th birthday and this is the best birthday I've ever had.
Oh, good on him.
It works.
Excellent.
It works.
It puts smiles on people's faces.
He
that's for
had
sure.
a riot, yes, it was great.
And I know that they're going to continue to stock right up through Memorial Day and even past that, just so that there's a lot of people out enjoying that. And the Free for Fish Day is May 29th.
Still coming up yet?
Yep,
Yeah.
still coming up. Now we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have a field tip to help you catch some bass and a little bit of turkey talk, so stick around.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. You know, Jake, I'm standing here and a lot of people are probably looking and saying, looks like his wife cracked him a good one there in
I was
the
going
right
to say,
eye.
did she pop you for
Yeah,
hunting too much?
kind of looks like that. What really happened, this actually
This is a
leads
tip.
me, this leads me to a turkey tip right here. Here's a good tip. When hunting in poison ivy, do not reach up and scratch your eye with poison ivy on your glove. Do not do that because it results in a fat eye. So don't do that. Now, Jake, that's my tip. What's your tip?
I can't top that one.
Can you beat that one?
I really can't. We are looking at 2 weeks left. That's a good tip, by the way. You really have to watch where your hands are going. You shouldn't be rubbing your eyes and stuff.
That's right.
That's a good tip. 2 weeks left in the turkey season, and my tip is this. As the leaves come out, it's going to be a little bit harder to hear those turkeys at long distances. So what you almost definitely want to do is you want to make sure that you move a little bit more. You also have to remember this. It may be a bird that has been called to a real lot.
Right.
So if you've used the same call over and over again, this time maybe you want to putt when you purred or whatever. So you want to change that.
Mix it up a little bit.
2 weeks in the season, lots of turkeys yet.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of turkeys. And that's a good tip, I think.
I think it's an excellent tip.
Not
I'm
as
gonna
good as
try
your-
that, but I remember this one too.
We've been talking about fishing and we've been talking about tube baits. And let's turn to our field staff member, Bob Hawkins, for a tip on fishing.
Understanding what fish eat, or as many fishermen may refer to it as their forage, is the key to success while fishing this season. Our lakes, streams, and rivers here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania have a large population of crawdads. One such bait that we would use to imitate a crawdad would be a tube bait, very popular. Many sizes, shapes, colors, and basically several different ways in which we can rig this bait. We can tie it off with an offset hook, as you see here, weightless. We can use what they refer to as a get-stick glider, or you could see this easy tube weight, which actually has a rattle in it. Feed it up into the tube. I've already fed one up in there. Then work my hook back through the top of the lure. Bring it back. That way my weight is on the inside. Feed it up through, and then feed my hook back in through the plastic. Or we can use what's most common, and that of a tube jig head. And one tip I would offer for you today is that rather than try to feed that tube head up into the tube itself dry, I like to use a scent and a jelly like this I will lube it up. It'll serve two purposes at this point. Then I'll feed it through, lubed up. You see it slides in much easier. Pop the eye through, and I'm ready to fish. I'm Bob Hawkins, and that's your field tip of the week.
Well, we want to thank Bob Hawkins. That was a great tip, Jake.
Yeah.
And you know, that's something I might want to use in an upcoming bass tournament.
Yeah, but Bob told me one thing. If you get any of that smelly jelly stuff on your fingers, don't rub it in your eyes. No, just don't rub it in your eyes. Real quickly, you got to take a look at this. This is a shed from a 3-pointer. I believe that this was a 5-pointer during the season. I passed on this buck during the archery season several times. I found this shed in the woods in the middle of the week. It sort of tells me it's working. We let the little ones go. I'm hoping to see this one with a bigger rack this fall, because that's got to be it.
You may not pass on that one.
No, I probably won't. Next time around.
That's right.
All right, we're going to take a short break, but when we come back with more of Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, we're going to have our product demonstration and giveaway. Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. You're looking at the information you need to get a hold of Blaine Mangle at the Backwoods Angler. There's his phone number, 610-868-9349, or at backwoodsangler.com. He's also on our contact sheet now on the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life homepage, and we're going to continue to talk fishing. What do you got here?
Jake, we have a great little package here. This comes to us from Brian and Bill from B&B Tackle on Route 93, Berwick and Orangeville.
Okay.
Some great things. Here's some chompers. Now, this is kind of a wacky worm style of fishing. There's several different companies that make this. That's a good color, by the way. Here's a great hook. This is used for Texas rigging, the Musto hook. And these little things right over here are kind of interesting. They can be used for bass or trout.
I like that.
Yeah, they call them creature lures. Grasshopper, we've got a bee, looks like a frog here, a little minnow. Those little things will take trout and bass. They're from Rebel.
Excellent.
Okay?
And these are from B&B Tackle.
B&B Tackle.
Route 93.
Route 93, Berwick and Orangeville.
Between Berwick and Orangeville.
Berwick, is that how they say it?
Well,
over
I don't
Berwick?
know. Some of the people say Berwick, some say
All
Berwick.
right, and our lucky winner is Carol McFarland from Lehighton, Pennsylvania.
Well, congratulations, Carol. We still have turkey hunting to show you coming up in a couple of weeks. We've got more fishing going on, camping, hiking, and some kayaking. We got a couple good shows coming up.
And maybe sometime we could do something on first aid in the forest.
Poison ivy. Right. Here, I'll go get him some ice. We'll take care of his eye. Yes. You have a great week, because for everybody here at Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, we wish you the very best in the great outdoors.
So long now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a handy too. Hey! Even the professional blows up. What? I'm sorry that flooded your misery, but I thought I was the only one that missed them.
Pennsylvania Outdoor Life is a local presentation of WNEP-TV. We're proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
I love big bugs.